small, breathe me in and let me go. Filling the lungs inside you, and the blackened eyes make my way into your mind. Just to know what you knew. Restless every time we start locking eyes. Lost control. Oh, it's paradise with a nasty bite. In the dead of the night. Let the darkness take control. Let the darkness take control. Darkness take control. May the darkness take control. Take me in slow, breathe me in and let me go. Sink to your heart to find you. Open up your eyes till you're blinded by the lights, so you can see what you do. Restless every time we start locking eyes. Lost control. Oh, it's paradise with a nasty bite. In the dead of the night. Teardrops on the floor. The pain is over. Feel the darkness take control. Take control.
Welcome to AfterTalk, where wrestling goes beyond the mat. Here's your host, the Glamazon, Delisha.
Hello, guys. Welcome to another edition of After Talk, where I am joined tonight by my lovely co-host here on the commentator's desk, Nikki. How are you tonight?
I'm doing good. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, so tonight we're doing something pretty fun for our third episode. Each of us have done a little dream card matchup of some matches we would either have maybe like to see in the future or wish we could have seen in the past. I don't know, maybe throw together the past and the future together. So I'm excited to see what everyone's come up with because we haven't really, well, I guess technically only Cal knows the whole card because he did all the slides. But speaking of Cal, we have him there, Mr. Kingslayer himself in the background, the People's Champ, our producer extraordinaire. How are you, sir?
Hello. Good evening, ladies. Thank you for having me for this episode. I'm super excited. As you know, I've already made my card since February. That's how excited I was for this episode. I'm glad you guys can include me in this, so thank you.
Yeah, so like I said, we were doing some dream cards, and there was some stipulations attached on how we were to go about doing that. So, Kyle, you want to let people know what we have to do?
Sure. So the stipulations are as follows. First, there are 7 matches, 2 on the pre-show and 5 on the main card. The wrestlers must perform in the WWF/WWE at some point in his or her career. The wrestlers are said to be in their prime, so no Goldberg Undertaker match kind of thing. I mean, you can have that, but you know, when they're imagine them in their prime. And then match has never happened before on WWF or WWF televised event. Okay, so we're not counting like dark shows because someone's gonna be like, oh, we saw that on dark show somewhere, but like we didn't. So
yeah, this was I would say this is somewhat sometimes harder to think about than I originally thought, because some of the matches had taken place, whether mostly on a already like a Raw or a SmackDown, but some of the times they weren't done right. So maybe sometime down the line, if we like how this episode goes, maybe we'll do a revised version to where we might do a rematch of a match we thought we would want but didn't like the outcome of. So maybe we'll do something like that down the line. But it was tough getting to think of, or at least either it was tough to think of a card or then not make your card like an actual like WrestleMania 12 match 17-hour podcast. But we did whittle it down to 7 matches total, so I'm pretty excited. So
Man,
you
I
guys ready
had
to
such
get
a
started?
hard time picking stuff. Like, I had such a hard time. They were cracking up at me. I mean, like, I think I just gave Cal my crap like 2 days ago because I was like, there's just so much, and I just don't know. So I get that. It was hard for me.
And Jenna's here. Welcome, Jenna. How are you doing? Also, I was gonna say that like I'm looking forward to if we do this again. Like I'll make it a yearly thing for our summer, like little relaxation episode without covering the hard topics. I think like we can make up great cards throughout. Like we'll get it's like our first stepping foot, like setting our toes in the water kind of thing. So it's a good start. I hope.
Yeah, a midsummer show before the biggest block party summer of them all, SummerSlam.
That is true. Wait,
All right.
do we know if SummerSlam is at Brooklyn again?
I actually don't remember.
I think they signed they signed for like 6 seasons, so 6 years of it. I think something like that. So the takeover's there again. I'd love to go if I had money and I'm free. That too.
All right, and also people in the comments, we would love to hear what you guys, some of your dream matches would be. So let us know and we'll shout them out on air. And because it might even be a match that we hadn't even thought of, so that'd be great. And then so let's get started, guys. Nikia, was it you going first?
It was.
All right, let's hear
definitely me going first. We drew like numbers. Well, we did numbers, and then Cal probably asked Alexa what to do.
Yeah, so I asked her to roll three-sided dice, and I did it in that order. Unfortunately, she came up with the same number twice, but since I think it was Delicia's number twice, I think it went like Nicole's number came up first, then Delicia's number came up, and then I think Delicia's number came up again. So I was like, you know what, I'll just, or maybe it was Nicole's number that came up again, so I'll just like, whatever, I'll go last year's show, so ladies first. So.
Yay. So that's me. Are we going to tell what, like, okay, so we don't, I mean, we kind of have a structure, but only sort of, obviously we're going to start with the pre-show, but before we get into the pre-show, I have to tell you guys what my show name is, and that, are you going to pop it up? I don't know. There we go. So I decided to make my show Great Balls of Fire. Yes, I on purposely picked the most mediocre pay-per-view in recent WWE memory to prepare you guys all for the most mediocre dream card. Because it's probably going to be mine. But you know what? I love it, so deal with it. This is my dream card, not anybody else's. So these are the people I wanted to see. Jumping in, for the pre-show, we have up first, Bobby Roode versus Randy Savage, the Macho Man. And I know this is a little bit of an odd pick, but the reason why I wanted to do this is because, well, it's no secret that I love Bobby Roode. And to be honest, I couldn't figure out where to fit him in my card. And I'm like, but my card won't be complete without Bobby Roode. Like, literally, guys, my ringtone is Bobby Roode's Glorious. So, like, he needed to be on here somewhere. And I was like, oh, I know, I'm going to have a robe versus robe match. So I looked up, all the people who had robes that were almost as epic as Bobby Roode's. And I decided, you know what? I would love to see him fight Randy Savage in the ring. And I think it would be great. These two guys are extra as fuck, and they're talented. And R.I.P. Randy Savage was talented. But I think it would be great to see that. I gave Bobby Roode the victory because, well, I just want to listen to his theme song one more time. Next up, I decided, because we did 2 pre-show matches, my second pre-show match is going to be a 6-person elimination match with all of the ladies. Now, I intentionally picked the people that I picked for this, obviously, but pretty much anybody who knows me knows I'm not a huge Bellas fan, but they are on this card, and there's a reason why. First of all, this is probably my most guilty pleasure match out of the entire list. Of course, they're all kind of guilty pleasure matches because it's my list. But in this one in particular, I decided to wrap up my pre-show with the 6-person elimination because I want to see it. I would have loved to see this show because, one, the first 2 ladies up there, if you don't know who they are, is Chyna and Mickie James. And you know what? They were the women that I watched wrestling when I was little. Like, I remember them when I was little. And I think it would be great to put them in the ring, with they were kind of the women who paved the way. But then we also have the women who played a pivotal role in the, women's wrestling that we know today. And that is the Bella Twins, regardless if I like them or not. As wrestlers, they did make an impact enough to lead us into what we have, the women's revolution now. So I have the Bella Twins up there. And then I have my 2 favorite ladies wrestlers that aren't Becky, because everyone knows I love me some Becky Lynch. But these 2 ladies in particular are the women's revolution. So I picked Asuka and Ember Moon, and they would all fight. And I really think that in this particular match, it would be a bunch of different styles. They all have different strengths, and it would be entertaining to watch, which is the entire premise, right? Like, I want to make it fun for me to watch, not for you. I don't care what you want. It's for me to watch. And I think that it would come down ultimately probably to Asuka and Ember Moon. And it would, if I had it my way, Ember Moon would totally use her finisher, which is epic. Eclipse is amazing. And she would do her little thing and she would get her victory over Asuka. And, the crowd could go wild. Also, no shocker, she's from the local area that I'm from. So I super love her. She's just a notch over everybody else. She's amazing. All right, onward to the main card because I'm just taking up too much time. And there's 2 other people that got to be here. The next one, this is my championship match. Yes, I only have 1 title match on this entire card, and it is this one. It is the opener for my main card because I want everyone to stop watching my pay-per-view after this, apparently. So I've got AJ Styles versus Ric Flair. And to be honest, when I sat down and did my list, I was like, who would I want to see? And I noticed that this was on a couple of other lists for people out in the interweb. But I wanted to start my main card off right. So who wouldn't want to see these 2 titans clash in the ring? Putting aside my heel persona for a moment, right? I do think that Ric Flair is no doubt one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. And yes, I usually on this show boo the woo. But putting that aside for a moment, he is one of the greatest of all time. And AJ Styles is probably one of the most talented wrestlers in the world currently. And I think it would be amazing to see them together in the ring. Duking it out would seriously just be a dream on my dream card. Now we do have... I have Ric Flair as the winner of the match because let's be real, he's the dirtiest wrestler of all of them, and he would somehow find a way.
Wait, you told me AJ.
You're right. I forgot. I did say that AJ would win. I suck at this. I'm really bad at this. I forgot that I put this title match on here, so excuse my word vomit. I would put.
Hey, I was just gonna say, if Vince can change his mind before a show starts, then so can you.
That's fair. To be honest, I think I told Cal AJ Styles because that's who I would want to win, and it was my dream card. And when I initially made the list, I was like, it would make more sense for Ric Flair to win because he's a dirty player. But then I was like, but I want AJ to win, and it's my card. So I want AJ Styles to win, not only because I don't really care for Ric Flair, and that's not a secret, but because I love AJ Styles so much. He's extraordinary and he deserves everything. And I'm glad that the WWE does just crap all over him all the time. So yay. That's my 1 title match. AJ gets to take the title because he's amazing, because he's phenomenal. I didn't wear my AJ jacket because I wore it last time, so... Not jacket, it's a vest. All right, next up, we have the Shield versus D-Generation X. I only see, wait, sorry, hold on. I'm having issues here. There we go. My card was all messed up in here. Thanks, Google. Okay, so I've got the Shield and D-Generation X. Now, I know that D-Generation X is a big, long list of people. So specifically for this group, I wanted to do Chyna, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels because, well, Chyna's my girl. We all know that. I loved watching her wrestle. She was the one woman that could wrestle in the ring when I was a kid that didn't wear bikinis. And I thought that was great. And then obviously Triple H. So who wouldn't want this match? Okay. I mean, it's Triple H's enforcers versus Triple H and his crew. Like, yeah, please. And I love I love the Shield. I wanted to put the Shield on this list if I'm just being honest. But this match would be really great. I mean, it would be like a power fest with some high flying moves thrown in there every now and then. And I think it would be fantastic. I have the Shield emerging as the victors of this matchup in order to push the image of them being the unstoppable force coming at you, because that was the thing, right? Like that was their whole gimmick is that they would come out of nowhere, the dogs or hounds of justice. And I don't know, I loved their whole bit. It was amazing. And I wanted them to win because it's my card. Next up, I've got CM Punk versus Stone Cold. And this match, I feel like, is a little self-explanatory if you know almost anything about wrestling. And I'm sure that a lot of people are probably upset that this isn't my closer. Because, like, this could close my show. But remember, this show is all about mediocrity, so it doesn't get to close the show. Well, I know some of you might argue that this should have been it, but it's my card. Both of these dudes were, they have huge amounts of fans still currently, but even during WWE, they had huge fan support. And to be honest, they both had a similar distaste for authority. And if there's anything you guys know I love, it's going against the man, not Becky Lynch, the man, like the man, the government, the boss, that kind of man. And I love that they were boss-hating bad boys, which isn't hard when your boss is Vince McMahon. But above and beyond that, these two were mic wizards. Like, nobody's gonna lie that when Stone Cold stole the mic, he stole the show. And it's the same with CM Punk. I mean, CM Punk has one of the most legendary, like, mic things when he's, like, sitting there and he's all, like, telling the WWE how it is. And he was so verbal about, like, what was going on in WWE and how I disagreed with it. And, like, that was all real. Like, I know they played into his character, but, I mean, even afterwards, like, it's real. And those are his thoughts about it. And I don't know. I think the promos for this, for them trash talking each other, would have been spectacular because they're so good on the mic. Like, they were so good at talking. And I would really love to see it. Now, I did give Punk the win because, unlike Stone Cold, he was a real-life rebel, and he deserved to win at my pay-per-view. He voiced his concerns for the WWE's lack of care for its wrestlers, and he also shit all over Vince McMahon every chance he had, which, huzzah to you, Punk. And to be honest, giving CM Punk the win at my pay-per-view is my way of sticking it to the man. Because everyone would want Stone Cold to win. No is my answer to you, no. Next up, we have a tag team event where we have Lita and Trish Stratus, I can words today, and versus Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. Like, I did this on purpose because I saw the whole thing that they were running where it was like friends to bitter rivals or something like that. And I'm like, speaking of best friends to bitter rivals, I know another pair like that. And I thought it would be really fun to play into that whole, like, you can totally trash me for it. Like, oh, we're best friends, turn. And now we're bitter enemies. Like, I love the frenemies thing. I'm sorry, I just do. And what better way to do it in a tag team battle here between these two sets of amazing wrestling women. I think that the promos for this would be fantastic. It would be like, can they put aside their differences for victory? Can we trust each other? Will they turn against one another, victory or defeat? And I just think that would be fun to be like, oh no, here's these best friends that are now enemies. Let's put them on the same team and make them all fight each other. I don't know. I thought it would be fun. And how could I put Becky and Charlotte on here and put all of the other ladies I want on here without it just being a whole ladies card? And like, I might as well have just put Evolution on my list and been like, here's everything I wanted to see, nothing but ladies. I wanted to, no, there were some dudes I wanted to put on here. So to condense all the ladies I wanted to see, I put them in a tag team because I think it would be fantastic. And as the winner, I decided to do Becky and Charlotte because, of course, I did. I love them. They're real life best friends. And even in the WWE, sometimes they're best friends. Sometimes they're not best friends. Sometimes they're rivals that just straight up respect each other. Like, yes, Becky is like, I understand Charlotte's great, but Charlotte's also a dirty fighter. Let's be real. She's Ric Flair's daughter. So yeah, that's it. And you know what? In my head, like they just took it, like just barely. And I haven't decided if, you know, they took it because they cheated or not. No, I didn't do any of that. I just want to see them win. The end. Okay, for my last match to wrap it all up in this mediocre bowl, with a mediocre bow, excuse me, is Finn Balor, the Demon King Finn Balor versus The Undertaker. And I picked this because this is my ultimate guilty pleasure match. Yes, I want to see the Demon King fight The Undertaker because why wouldn't that be amazing? Hells and demons and fire and awesomeness all rolled into one thing. I mean, this match would be like ridiculously supernatural. And what's not to love about that? Okay, I loved the WWE in the 90s when, like, you know, everybody wore face paint and you had these really ridiculous gimmicks. Like, I'm sorry, I came to the show because I want to see superheroes fight supervillains, okay? That's what wrestling is. It's superheroes versus supervillains. And this time, there's not really a hero or a villain. It's like, hello, I'm the Demon King. And the other guy's like, I'm the Undertaker. And they're both like these really amazing, like, titans in the ring. And I don't know, it would just be amazing to see them. Like, I don't even know who I really wanted to win. I sat here forever and was like, who do I want to win this match? And, you know, I mean, like, why would it, there would be fire, there would be stagehands, like maybe dressed in like all black onesies, and they'd be all like a wave, because who are you going to be with, the Undertaker or the Demon King? Like, I don't know. Hell is in a dilemma, right? Who knows? But I just thought it would be great. And you know what? I can see it all now. I could just see this main event and all of its ridiculousness and people being like, welcome to Great Balls of Fire. And this was incredibly hard to pick a winner. The Undertaker is just so notorious, but the Demon King is too. And I had to give it to Finn Balor because, you know, I feel like Balor would win. They would let him win because he's the Demon King and he usually wins his matches as the Demon King. But then the Undertaker would recognize like his claim to darkness and he would be like, yes, call me up whenever you need help. And then we'd have like this whole gimmick where it's just all the darkness bad guys being like, let's fight together. And I don't know, I just love it. I love the entire premise of all of this crazy. And that's my card.
I don't know why you thought this was mediocre because I would mark out for all those matches.
Okay. All right. I don't know. Because like, I know I have unpopular opinions about everything in life. Wrestling is usually up there too. Like people are just like, you like dumb stuff. And I'm like, sure, I do.
No, I really enjoyed it. I think you had a great mixture of like putting in like our past stars with some of the future ones. So like I said, I would, if I was there for that show, even though I can't imagine me buying a ticket for Great Balls of Fire, but if I was at that show, I'd be like, this is a good card.
I was at Great Balls of Fire.
me and Cal will be reviewing it, giving it an A+.
Yeah. Excellent.
Speak for yourself. Okay? Because I wore the best in the world shirt for a reason today, because I know my pay-per-view is going to be the best, and you guys are not even mediocre. It's not even mediocre. I'm trying to think of something clever to say, but I can't because I'm also fixing images right now for the next slide. So just imagine something super clever and insulting there. Go on.
Okay. He's trying to talk trash. I wore my Dean Ambrose shirt. Yeah. I just saw the show, not to digress from WWE, but I just saw that show that he's on now. I forgot what his name is on there. I was like, that's Dean Ambrose. Wait a second. The WWE owns that name.
John Moxley. Yeah.
It was great. But they were here in Dallas. They were at the American Airlines Center. And I'm like, why didn't anybody tell me?
Oh, wow.
I would have gone. It was like the Japanese championship thingy-mabob. I don't know.
Yeah. So it wasn't the AEW one, but it was, he used his name, John Moxley, I think. But it's like, what do you call it? Like, you know, because in AEW, you don't have to fight for like anything now. Like, you don't have to, you're not signed just to AEW. Right.
Yeah. I forgot what it was, but it was like some sort of traveling thing from Japan. And they had like,
yeah, thank you, Slater. He just said it. Sorry.
Thanks. Yeah, that's it. It was a really good show. I enjoyed it. And they have the level of ridiculousness that I'm missing in the WWE now, you know, with like the headdresses and the like, just, you know, in case you haven't noticed, I like all that stuff. Maybe it's just nostalgia. Oh man, and I saw this match with this guy named Will Ospreay or whatever.
Oh
Yeah.
Dude, he's like amazing.
People talked about him when I tweeted this event out. They wanted him as their main event, and I'm like, well, the stipulation is they had to
be on the WWE.
Yeah, had ever been WWE, and they said no. So I'm like, well, there you go. We didn't want to mark out too much. I know some of our cards might be a little bit marked out, but just stay tuned.
Right.
I'm going through Delicia's card at the moment.
I'm about to say we might not have gotten him in our matches, but we got him on the show.
Yeah, there you go.
See,
sidewalk closed. We got Will Ospreay mentioned on the show just for you.
I'm totally here to please the fans. Also, I'm just trying to like branch out from WWE because I find myself more and more depressed with what's going on. And I'm just like, you know, I think I just need some other alternatives. Not that I'll ever leave WWE. It's kind of like a drug. You think you kick it and you just come back. Trust me, I've been trying to stop watching wrestling for years and it just never happens. I always come back.
Can't.
Yeah, just like a boomerang.
Just too good. It's better than anything else that you watch, okay?
All right, so whenever you're ready, Delisha, I have all your slides picked up. We also say hi to Slater. Welcome, Bobby. He also joined us for the AfterMat Awards. He won the raffle and got to announce an award. So thank you for joining us again, Bobby.
Hey, guys. Alrighty, so I think you could probably tell I might have been watching TakeOver while making up this card, because I won't say it's NXT heavy of NXT alumni heavy, but it's you can probably see the influence. But going off, starting with my pre-show. Oh, mine is matches I would have loved to seen like on a WrestleMania stage. So I was calling it like a WrestleMania snapshot because, you know, WrestleMania has like 17,000 matches, but I can only do 7. So this is like a WrestleMania snapshot. So in our pre-show, in true WrestleMania fashion, we have the cruiserweights. So we have Rey Mysterio versus Cedric Alexander for the Cruiserweight Championship, with Cedric being the champion going in. And I chose this match because I thought that these two would be a great mixture of the old school cruiserweight and then the new school cruiserweights, where they both can be the high flying and also technical wrestlers in the ring that they when called for. And I just thought that this would be a really cool match to start off to get people hyped up for WrestleMania in true fashion. And I have Cedric Alexander retaining and winning this match to keep that new school feel going, so that we could build them up, as I feel like almost every veteran in the wrestling game should want to do. But that's just my personal feeling. So I have him winning, and that's also because I love Cedric Alexander, even though he's being useless right now. But personal opinion. And then for the next pre-show match, I am giving some actual stakes to the Andre Memorial Battle Royal. And I actually think originally there's like 30 or more superstars in the ring. I'm only going to cut that down to 15, 20-ish. And with the winner getting a featured title shot of their choosing. So that could be the top tier titles of the Universal or the WWE title. They can go for the tag team titles, go for the IC or US, whatever they want. And then for this one, I am giving the win to Mr. EC3 himself, because I feel like he would have some fun with this. Much like the Money in the Bank, they would have a year to cash in on. Well, they don't have to it's not like a Money in the Bank where they get the cash in at the end. You have to say in advance that you want this title shot. But I really think he could have some fun with this, where he could go on a solo run or pick a tag team partner, and we could really get to see him shine his charisma, because even though it's not very much been seen on Raw, he's very charismatic, very good on the mic. So I really think this would be a fun angle for the fans to get to know EC3, who aren't familiar with him from NXT or in that other company that doesn't get mentioned. And then we go on to our main card. Speaking of frenemies, you would have thought that me and Nikki were collaborating, but I kind of went with the same idea, but sort of switched up. So it is kind of like Team Besties remixed, because I have Sasha Banks and Lita, who I am putting as like the heel team, versus Trish and Bailey, because that seemed like a good fit for those two. And I just thought, again, a mixture of past and present, but kind of blending it to be on opposing sides, to where I think both of these, they had both influenced Sasha and Bailey. So for them to get to work with their idols, I think would be a good match from the put on. And then Lita and Trish can still bring it. I just thought that Lita gets over more a little bit when she is heel. And if I was going to compare it with Sasha, I was like, they got to be heel, because Sasha is just, pun intended, a boss on the mic when she's heel. So I thought that would be a fun matchup to see them go through. And I have the heel team winning with Sasha and Lita. There was no really rhyme or reason on why. I just thought that would just be a fun way to get them over. And I just thought that would just be a fun match. And it's something of somewhat of a dream match that a lot of people, including myself, would love to see. And there's no better way to bring that up than on the main card, first match going into on a WrestleMania event. And then after that, I have another kind of like revamped persona coming through with Bobby Roode, because I also do love his theme song. It's one of the best in wrestling period, because once you hear it, you just gotta sing along. Exactly, Nikki. And have him going up against Kofi Kingston, who is still our W Championship in this alternate universe. But my revamping of Bobby Roode comes from, he is going back to his suit heel persona, to where people didn't know he would just come out like in a suit and glasses and just be like this dickish personality. And he only brings out the roles for like big main event matches, as this one would quality would be. So I really thought that would be a fun matchup. Plus, with Kofi's like peak popularity going on right now, and then Bobby being just so like stellar as a heel and on the mic, I thought these two would clash very well. And so I thought this would be a pretty good match for the crowd to see, including me, or mainly just me. I don't know. Like Nikki said, it's for us to view anyway. But I have Kofi retaining.
You definitely told me Bobby Roode winning.
I did? Oh,
yeah.
I voted the wrong person. See? So what happens when you send things late at night? All right, fine. Switch it back. We have Roode retaining because he needs this. If we're going off his character from right now, it's pretty much non-existent. So he really needs a push, and this would probably be a good way to do so, especially if he's taking it off the super popular Kofi. And let's say he did it by nefarious means, because he is a heel, and that would fit into that I'm better than you dickish persona. So Bobby Roode winning, and then hopefully we get a rematch later down the line. And then coming up is probably one of the like ultimate dreams. Oh no, that was actually non-intended pun, but pun indeed. Like matchups that I personally would love to see, and that's probably an awesome picture because they're pretty much doing the same thing. So we have the Velveteen Dream from NXT versus the Heartbreak Kid himself, Shawn Michaels. And I think it's the type of Shawn character that I'm going with. I think in my probably had 90s attitude era Shawn Michaels. Even though I know he was probably like a real turd to work with at the time, and he was hopped up on painkillers. But on television, when we didn't know that because I was a kid, he was just, I don't know, I feel like this matchup against the Dream that we have right now, they would just mesh so well. And can you imagine the promos beforehand for that match between the Dream just being overtly sexual and overtly annoying, and then we have HBK, who's known to cross the line from time to time by himself and with DX, just getting on the Dream's nerves, and I really think we would have got a really good matchup with them. And then especially with the way Dream taunts people in the ring when when they're especially on takeover matches or big marquee matches, I really thought that these two would put on a good show, which is what they're all about in the first place. And this was for the IC title, which would be held by Shawn Michaels. And as a passing of the baton, which even though we know he wasn't known for doing that in the past, will be putting it on the Dream for him to go on and take on that title, and as another prestige player being able to hold that title. And I thought that would be probably actually it might be a like dream card matchup for the Dream himself to go against an idol of his. So we all get a little bit of what we want in that match. And then our next match would be a tag team match, but not for a title because it involves a group of tag teams. And so I have the club, also known as the Bullet Club, but we're not calling them that in WWE, of Gallows, Anderson, Finn Balor, and AJ on as like the heel-ish side. So we kind of got like the new and old Bullet Club members all packed up in one, going against some of my favorite tag teams of the day, the New Day and the Usos, who, as we know, when they're going versus each other, they're always putting on stellar matches. So we put them together with another stellar tag team group. I really thought that would be a fun show for not only me. I mean, I'd watch that all day, every day. I thought that would be a good match that a crowd would really want to see, and it would keep the momentum going as we go on throughout the night, as we just probably had a marquee 5-star match between Dream and Michaels. I don't know, but I thought that this would be a really cool tag team, like non-title match. Like, you know, there's always just that just for funsies match going in. And then I have the club winning, and it's probably Finn Balor not in demon wear because he'll be in a leather jacket and all that, coming out with everyone else. But still, in my version of this non-demon Finn Balor, he's still a force to be reckoned with. So I feel like the club being the WWE eyes, the newer group coming in, and the heel team, I figured they would want to get that push going out to make him a dominant force, and to keep that going, to have them winning, and with some cool matches after that to build them up a team, and then eventually maybe become tag team champions, and then maybe get some other titles down the line with that too. And that was just really that one was kind of for me. And so is this next one was kind of for me too, because I might be the only one asking for this. But we have our Lord and Savior of WWE, Becky Lynch, the man, versus one of the most hardcore women of the Attitude Era, or maybe a little bit post that. No, actually, no, she's pretty much Attitude Era too. Jazz. And I probably should have told you this, Cal, but she will be managed by Teddy Long, as she was in the past. But he doesn't have to be a big factor, so it doesn't really matter. Let these two women shine. So I thought that this would be one of the ultimate like old school versus new school, to where we have Becky Lynch, who can scrap it down in the ring for sure, but is definitely great and gained more of her popularity with the mic skills, versus Jazz, who was just that hard hitting, don't need to speak much, in your face, just going at it type of in ring capability. And I really thought that this would be a unique matchup that might not be on a lot of people's mind, but I really thought it would be a cool throwback to that old school of just getting it done in the ring type of match. Or as the revivals will say, no flips, just this. And that's basically Jazz right there. And Becky Lynch, even though she can go to the top rope, she is more technical than anything else. But I really thought that would be a pretty good matchup, with Becky going in as champion and leaving as champion, as I feel like she should do all the time. And then that was my little snapshot of what a WrestleMania dream card would be for me.
All right. We do have some, like Slater says, well, can someone read it while I bring up the thing? What he
Yes,
thinks is,
I got it. I'm in there. Where are we starting?
where Slater thinks what his main card would be?
Oh yeah. So Slater wants a fatal 4-way between AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan, Finn Balor, and Shinsuke Nakamura. And Cal was like, I wouldn't allow that unless it was a Midsummer Nightmare. And I thought that was fantastic. Sorry, Slater. None of us like Daniel Bryan here. Or I mean, if we do, I'm sorry. That's right. I forgot. Delisha is not a heel.
I did allow him to be in the match, though. If a buried alive match, no one digs him up after the match.
Sorry,
Slater, that was a great card. I'd watch that 10 times over. Forget what those two would say.
That's what we're here to do. Cal and I are here to play off each other and hate on each other because we're both heels. Anyways, that was a great dream card. If you hate yourself. Let's see what else is said in here. We were talking about women's soccer at one point, and like, what do men even play soccer? What is men's soccer? Also, shout out to the ladies, the women's soccer team, the U.S. team for winning. You guys are awesome.
Yes.
That was fantastic. It was such a good game. If you didn't watch it, you should go back and watch it. Not that they need any more plugs.
Because they actually know how to play soccer.
What? Are you saying we don't know how to make dream cards? It's an accurate statement.
The Kazakhstani scientists proved that women have smaller brains than men. So that makes sense, It's
I'm going to come through here and stab you.
It's definitely showing up in this dream cards that you guys are making up. Because
I'm going to put Cal in the yes log. That's what I'm going to do.
Just watch Borat and you'll see how this is all true. Because Borat is a great sense of like true factual information,
You know what? I've never seen that movie. I need to watch it. Everyone references it all the time.
It's like I remember seeing it, but I don't remember seeing it.
So it's that memorable, huh?
I didn't.
I'm ready to go, but I'm gonna need a hiatus in between it because my last my main event is like 20 slides, so I'm gonna need like.
Of course it is.
All right, so here we go. So you've seen the rest. Now here's the best, and we saved the best for last. Whatever best you could think of, here it comes, and that's why I wore the shirt "Best in the World." And if I didn't have a rip in my trunks right now, I'd get up and turn around and show you my "Best in the World" shirt because it says in the back. I have 2 of these shirts. I should have held the other one up. Big Baller brand. No, don't even associate with them because they're terrible. Okay, anyway, here goes. So I, unlike the ladies, am creative enough because, like I said, Kazakhstani scientists have proved that men's brains are bigger than women's. I was able to come up with a creative original name, and it is called, I think it's original. I hope it's original. Vendetta. And that's the logo and everything. So already I even have the TV14 logo up there. It's already better. Like I can just stop right now and you guys can vote for me because it's already fantastic. Now let's actually get to the card, the pre-card. Okay. I'm doing something with this card that has precedent, but I'm going to take a step higher than the precedent because I'm better than Trump. And I know it's spelled differently, but precedent means precedent means precedent. Okay. And what I have, if you remember WrestleMania 2, okay, because I think, alive back then. Yes, I was alive back then. I wasn't alive, old enough to recognize what happened, but I watched old tapes. WrestleMania 2 happened in 3 different locations. I think it was like the Rosemont Horizon, Los Angeles, and then Atlantic City, New Jersey. Something like that. Or no, Nassau Coliseum. Whatever it was, there's 3 different locations. I'm going to step up higher than that. Well, I made the slide. They had the opportunity to make the slides, but like as I said earlier, the women's brains are smaller. They cannot make slides. Okay, so Jenna, I don't want to hear it from you and the peanut gallery. Okay? I'm like, who can? People say men can't multitask. I'm like a 2-lane highway or more than that, maybe, because I can watch the chat and do this. All right, and talk trash at the same time. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to be higher than the precedent by doing more than 3 different venues. Each match will be held at a different venue. Boom. That way we're selling so many tickets at each location, okay? And it's going to be a super dream card. So the first match, just like Delisha said, so, women can come up with some good things. But mostly she stole this from the WWE, so which they probably stole it from me. We're going to start it off with a cruiserweight match, okay? Because WWE, look at that bandana set up in the corner too. Genius. Anyway, cruiserweight match. I don't know who's in it. Okay, it's Ricochet against Rey Mysterio. Oh, and I'm even in a ladder match too. On top of that, that means the title's dangling from a ladder. Okay, so even my pre-show already has more titles than Nikki's thing, whatever you want to call that card. Okay, that's gonna look like playing cards compared to this dream card. All right, and Neville, I don't know what his nickname was. I think it's the man that gravity defied or whatever it is, or maybe that was Evan Bourne. But who cares? We could throw him in the match too, but we won't. The champion going to the match will be Neville. And as you know, these guys are all great high flyers. And who will come out of this match? Because he doesn't deserve a U.S. title. He doesn't deserve a cruiserweight title. I see Ricochet climbing up. And he's going to do crazy spots during this match. It's going to be great. So, like, I would definitely love, yeah, and his abs, right? You don't want to cover those up, so I put it a little bit lower just for you on the card. Because I knew that was going to be an issue. So, yeah, this match is going to happen in Mexico because, luchadors. Mexicans love lucha wrestling, right? That's what they do down there, luchadors. So that's why I had the Cruiserweight Championship, because that's our equivalent to lucha wrestling. So already I'm thinking marketing, and boom, in Mexico, the opening pre-show match is a Cruiserweight triple threat ladder title match. And I'm not putting the luchador Rey Mysterio over. I'm giving it to Ricochet. All right. Second pre-show match, or the main event of the pre-show match, is going to take place in Delicia's backyard, but not really her backyard. It's going to be the tag team brotherly battle royal match, elimination match, in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, where we feature all real-life brothers, and it's going to be for the WWE Tag Team Championship. Going into the match will be the Hart Foundation as the defending champions, represented by Bret and Owen Hart, real-life brothers. Against them will be brothers since day one, or day zero, or conception. The Usos, I don't know which one's which, but it's Jimmy and Jay Uso. Against the Hardys, Matt and Jeff Hardy, who Delicia loves. Against the Young Bucks. Now, the Young Bucks have... what's going on? The Young Bucks, what are they doing here? Well, they have appeared in WWE television as the Generation X or the Rockers or something back in the day. So that's why I can put them in this, because they were on TV. So the Young Bucks are already in there, and welcome, Arrington. How are you doing? The man Gravity forgot. Thank you. Yeah, no, I wasn't. Well, I wasn't. I just explained it right now that they were in WWE as I think they were the Rockers or Degenerate. They were imitating somebody, so they were in WWE at one point in a match. Therefore, they can be used. So all these are real life brothers. This is gonna be a fantastic match because it's great high flying action. And remember, these wrestlers are in their prime. So Bret Hart and Owen can still do crazy stuff. The Hardys, will always do nuts stuff. If you have ever watched the Young Bucks, they just jump off anything, including the top of the arena. They'll jump off each other and all that kind of stuff. And the Usos, we've been giving them, they won back-to-back AfterMat awards for being the best tag team. The only group to ever do that. They're the only ones who ever got the W Tag Team Award for the AfterMat awards. So this is already a great match. And I'd like to see a changing of the guard, and I'm going to have the Young Bucks come out as the champions because they can bring some more prestige back to the championship, like I think the Usos did for a while. I think that's fantastic. So you're probably thinking, oh my God, how can it get better than this? And it can't, but it's going to, because I made the card. So the next match is going to be for the it's going to open up the main card, and it featured and I'm going to quote the ladies, they both used this wrestler in their respective cards, talking about can you imagine how great the promos would be here, right? Actually, maybe Delicia didn't use him, but they're talking about one of the members of each they used. Okay, I think that's what it was. Whatever it was, it's still going to be a great match. And this match is an Intercontinental Championship match happening in Chicago, featuring CM Punk and Randy Macho Man Savage. Oh, yeah! And Macho Man, if you remember the classic match of from WrestleMania 3, Randy Savage against Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, probably arguably the greatest Intercontinental Championship match of all time. Imagine that form of Randy Savage going against the best ever, best in the world, CM Punk. And imagine the promos going into this. Macho Man was great. Even though sometimes you couldn't understand what he was saying, he was great on the mic. And then we don't have to say anything about CM Punk because he's wearing the same shirt as me. He's already wearing the same shirt as me, so therefore he's going to win the match, right? I don't know. I'm not a Macho Man fan, so yeah. CM Punk's going to win the match and become your new Intercontinental Championship, much like bringing the prestige back to the title like The Miz did. CM Punk is going to blow it away. And this is in Chicago, so here we are getting a home victory and home crowd. And you know how much love they give CM Punk in Chicago. They never shut up about him. So the place is going to go off crazy. You know, it's going to be crazy. I know, but this is an explosion of excitement, Jenna. Explosion of excitement. All right, next match. Because we got to have equality, we got to put some women on the card. But, just for all the women out there, it's a Raw Women's Championship Fatal 4 match happening in Saudi Arabia. What now, Arabs? That's what I'm going to do for the women here. Because, you know what, they deserve to get, you know, and Nicole was talking about sticking to the man. Sticking to the real men. They're not even real men because they can't even respect their women. So take that. That's the only non-heel thing I'll say tonight because... Remember, so who knows if these people are capable of doing a match because they have smaller brains or less athletic and all that kind of stuff. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is, you know, I want to stick it to the man and the Arab men, especially. Okay? So we're going to have this match in Saudi Arabia. Boom. For the most dynamic personalities in the history of WWE wrestling. We're going to have Lita and Trish from the Attitude Era. And the current era, we're going to have Charlotte Flair, who's walking in as the Raw Women's Champion, and the man Becky Lynch. We have nothing. We don't have to say these ladies already. Nicole and Delisha have told you how great all these women already are. I don't like to talk good about women, so I'm not going to. So they're gonna fight, and you know it's gonna be an evening guy match. No, I'm just kidding. It's gonna be like a real good wrestling match. You know, Charlotte Flair's gonna do her great like moonsault, and Lita's gonna do her Lita Kanrana and all that kind of stuff. And we know Becky and Trish can speak for themselves in the ring. Great promos as well. We can't forget that going in. But my heart has always been with my favorite WWE diva from the past. We have Trish Stratus winning the Raw Women's Championship match. This was a hard-fought victory and very well deserved for her. And I think this will shine a new light in the Middle East. And they'll say, let's bring them back, especially if Cal is booking these cards. All right. So next up, we're going to Florida. Because why not do Florida? Because everything, you can't have a story without something happening in Florida, right? And who do we know from Florida? Probably the greatest WWE superstar of all time, The Rock. All right. So we're going to have The Rock. And it's going to be the Shield gets an attitude. That's what the match is going to be billed as. The Shield gets an attitude because they're the two greatest attitude era people, The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin, against, you know, Rock's, what is it, nephew or cousin or whatever he is, Roman Reigns, and then that piece of trash over there, Dean Ambrose, who no one cares about. He couldn't cut it in the WWE, so we got rid of him. But, you know, people drew a lot of comparisons to him being Stone Cold. So I'm like, let me just put him in the match, and that's why we can have the Shield. Because there is a third member of the Shield, but we don't see him yet. I wonder why. So, I hate Dean Ambrose. I'm glad he's gone. I'm not impressed by his performance, though his last match, though, at the last pay-per-view was actually pretty impressive. But that was just him being stupid and throwing people into chairs and thumbtacks. So that's what I enjoyed about it. But yeah, The Rock, Stone Cold, everyone loves them. People will probably hate on the Shield because who is going to boo The Rock and Stone Cold when they're together, especially when they're together. So we're going to put them over. The Rock's probably end up getting the pin because it is in Florida. And the Shield is going to get the attitude adjustment. So it's going to be great to see that. Now, for the next match, keep in mind, I made this card in February. Okay? February. It is now what? July? Midsummer? July. I made this in February. I had the tagline, Icon meets Phenom. And what did the WWE do in the Crown Jewel, where that piece of trash pay-per-view in Saudi Arabia was called? The Super Showdown, whatever it's called. They had Goldberg versus Undertaker as Icon meets Phenom. No, you did it all wrong. And now you're trying to steal it from me too, because I have Sting against The Undertaker, and these are prime, in their prime, not Sting with his broken neck from Seth Rollins, and not Undertaker who's dropping Goldberg and everyone dropping each other. I'm talking about in their prime, Icon meets Phenom, Sting, Undertaker. And I did it in New Jersey. Why? Because I could be there for that. I love The Undertaker. I love Sting. No, I'm not going to make Roman look strong. Actually, I can make him look strong. I'll have him never come into the ring, and I'll have Dean Ambrose take every single shot possible. But anyway, back to this match. I love Undertaker. I love Sting. I've loved Sting ever since old school WCW days when he was like the Venice Beach bad boy kind of thing. Well, that's, like with the gold, bleach blonde, flat top head. I loved him since then. I love his crow gimmick. So I'd love to see this match. And this is the one match I want in New Jersey because I could see it. I could literally watch it and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, not Vince's. Yeah, exactly. You're going to see this. All these matches you're going to see now at the next pay-per-view watch because Vince is watching this right now. And because I love him so much, I'm going to have Sting come out as the winner of the Icon meets Phenom because he definitely deserves it because he already got screwed over at WrestleMania by Triple H, not giving him the victory and all that kind of stuff. And he had a title shot reign coming up, but then, Seth Rollins killed him. So, we can't have that. So I'm going to have him win this monumental match because I don't think Taker would mind, dropping the title to him. All right, so now I'm going to take a break because I have like 20 cards for the last one, so give me a second to bring all those up. But if you guys want to go to the chat, I'll let you guys go to the chat for a little bit.
Yeah.
I know I was interacting with the chat back and forth.
We've got a bunch of good stuff going on in chat. It's been great. We were talking about how Lita deserves everything. She's amazing. We were talking about so Slater Man was like, hey, but you have to make Roman look strong. And to which I replied, this is Cal's show, not Vince's. So we all know that Roman is Vince's boy. Which is why he doesn't win on any. Well, I guess I gave him the win when I gave the Shield the win. Whatever. Where else? Let's see. Who else is in here?
I think
Ricochet got a whole bunch of ab love in the chat, right? Because Ricochet's abs.
Those abs are undefeated,
right? I don't know. Finn Balor's abs are pretty A+ too. Okay,
we should have put those two in a match.
Just the match of the abs. Okay, I seriously almost considered that, and then I was like, everyone will laugh too hard because all I did in AfterMat was talk about how much I loved their abs, and I was like, I better not put that in there because they're gonna come to AfterTalk and be like, what is it with this girl and loving abs so much? And I'm like, I have eyes. Like,
no, I love abs too. Who doesn't love
right?
abs?
Who doesn't love abs? Just saying. Man, I'm so excited you put the Young Bucks in your card. I love them so much. They're so good.
Yeah. I guess you could say I'm kind of new to them-ish because my first introduction to them was when they were doing promos for them versus the Hardys match a few years ago. So that's how they became on my radar, of course. But yeah, I like them a lot too.
I have a friend who's an announcer in Australia, so like he's into a lot of really indie stuff because he's an announcer for it. And so like, yeah, I get all of he was always messaging me about that kind of stuff. It was cool.
All right, I am ready to go on. Now, are you ready for the main event? This is the main event. Now, here we go. We got a WWE Championship match in an elimination chamber in New York. Now, why did I have it in New York? Because I could leave New Jersey and go to New York and watch this too, because I'm that selfish, all right? So I could watch both these matches that I really want to see. And it's going to have Seth Rollins, the other member of The Shield, probably arguably the best member of The Shield, going in as your WWE champion, number one, and number two, AJ Styles. Now, we know these people have probably fought. I think they have fought recently on a pay-per-view, but that's not it. Remember, it's the elimination chamber. So we're going to have more members of the fight. So remember, Seth Rollins is going in as your champion. And remember, this is in New York, so I can watch this as well. Next person to come in will be Shawn Michaels. Now, I hate Shawn Michaels, but he is arguably an okay wrestler. So I figured I'd have him in there because people like watching HBK and all that kind of stuff. And he's supposed to be Mr. WrestleMania. Well, this isn't WrestleMania. This is better than WrestleMania because it's Vendetta. And just to watch you lose. In fact, I think I have him going out first. Probably not, but who knows? We'll see. Spoiler alert. But yeah, so already we have three amazing wrestlers. Now, we had abs earlier. I'm going to one-up you with some more abs and put in some Finn Balor, because who doesn't like Finn Balor? And it's got to be regular Finn Balor, because if you put in Demon Finn Balor, we know his hit points go up and his overall rating goes up, and then it'll be an unfair match. And you can't put people in a cage with a demon, because, the demon would win. So I'm not putting him as Demon Finn Balor. Next coming into the ring is probably probably one of the best people. I think HBK actually, or Triple H, is one of the most Elimination Chamber matches. But the person who made the biggest impact, I think, at the first ever Elimination Chamber match was this man right here, Edge, the ultimate opportunist, where he cashed in with his WWE Money in the Bank first ever cash in. I think it was against John Cena, who successfully defended his title Elimination Chamber at New Year's Resolution, I think it was called. But Edge came out and cashed in for the first ever Money in the Bank cash in and successfully beat John Cena, thus making him the ultimate opportunist. He went on to cash in again twice after he beat Ken Kennedy to steal away the briefcase. But who doesn't love Edge? So before the sixth man comes in, and who you guys see, before I reveal who it is, we are going to have an elimination. And look at that. There goes HBK. Why? Because he's trash and no one likes him. Now, if I did include Daniel Bryan in this, he probably would have been out before the match even started because no one wants to see him. All right, so there goes him. The final entrant is now going to make his entrance into the match. And who is it? None other than, I don't know what his nickname is, but Mr. Kenny Omega. Now, Kenny Omega had a brief stint in WWE, therefore I could use him in this. So before you guys say, oh, I'm marking out here or whatever, he was in the WWE. Therefore, Kenny Omega is now featured in the main event at Vendetta in the Elimination Chamber match. Now, who's going to be eliminated next? It will be Finn Balor. Unfortunately, his abs could not hold out long enough, and he is getting eliminated second. Well, since we have no one else coming into the ring, we're going to have another elimination. And you know who's got to go next? Unfortunately, the champion. Therefore, we're going to be crowning a new champion here in New York at Vendetta. So we're left with three tremendous superstars. Edge, AJ Styles, and Mr. Kenny Omega. Now, a lot of these, they're not loopholes. We had these stipulations prior to making these cards. And we told everybody this, so it wasn't like I cheated. Now, I just did some research. The next person eliminated is AJ Styles. Uh-oh, Kenny Omega's still in there. Will we see another technically an indie wrestler steal a WWE title? Well, unfortunately, I do love AJ Styles a lot, but I thought seeing Edge go at the end with Kenny Omega would be a great matchup. So who ends up winning and becoming the new WWE champion? Well, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, of course, Edge. Edge has to do it because I'm not going to have some other person come in and steal this, what's supposed to be the most prestigious title in WWE. Edge deserves it. He cashed in at the first ever Elimination Chamber, winning the championship. So I felt it was most deserved giving it to him as, a tribute to him winning the first, winning there. And I'm glad Alicia wrote the ultimate opportunist in the chat right now because this was technically the main event of the evening, but there is something looming out there. Remember how Edge cashed in with the Money in the Bank at New Year's Resolution? Somebody has a Money in the Bank right now, don't they? Oh, yes, it's a Money in the Boombox. The Beast, Brock Lesnar, will cash in his championship, his Money in the Bank briefcase against Edge. Can Edge hold off, or will he get screwed out of the WWE Championship, much like he screwed John Cena out of it? And unfortunately for Edge, we're going to see the Beast, Brock Lesnar, walk away with the WWE Championship after cashing in. Because why? Having the belt being defended once every few months is better than what we're seeing on the crap we're seeing on TV nowadays. So we're going to see Brock Lesnar as the champion again.
Ooh.
Beautiful. Can't. Such a great pay-per-view. It is so good. So freaking good. I mean, I can't. From going from venue to venue to venue and all this political stuff in there, nostalgia, everything. I touched everything. Great action, great card. Like I said, man, I'm glad we saved me for last. Good job, Alexa. Not like I paid you or anything. But yeah. That's the card.
I loved it.
They can't even say anything. They're speechless because it's so good.
Yeah, that's it.
So good.
It was such an emotional roller coaster ride. I can't. The last match, you hurt me. You hurt me by giving it back to Brock. How dare you?
I know. I didn't want to, but I wanted some, kind of like a send off kind of thing where it's like, oh, now we got to tune in because now he's the champion kind of thing. Like Edge has a bad neck. I know he's in his prime, but I'm going to play towards what's happening in real life kind of thing. So I had to do it where it's like a shocker. Because, the most talk came out of when Brock Lesnar ended up winning Money in the Bank, right? No one expected that, right? So why not have no one expect this to happen? And guess what? It's my card too. So,
it's true.
I figured people are going to talk about that more than Edge coming out. Because Edge went in the match. Everyone knew he was part of the match. No one knew Brock Lesnar had, And it works in today's society because Brock Lesnar currently does have the Money in the Bank. So
yeah.
I also feel like Cal watching so much WWE over so many years just shows in our cards. I mean, think together we have less WWE watching than Cal does. So
yeah, I have a
over time, but not now. Now Delisha definitely watches a lot more than I do, but over generations, yes, I definitely have.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm also 84 years old too, so
Cal's immortal. Yeah. Don't tell anybody.
Yeah, it's funny because even though I've been watching since maybe 2001, 99, something like that, I have a big gap of between 2003 and 2007. So I don't remember a lot of things that went on. And then I didn't watch pre Attitude Era. Mainly because I was just 3 years old and didn't even know about it. But even retroactively, I haven't really gone back and watched besides clips, full matches. But no, but it's also
I'm not an overachiever. I watched Attitude Era and then I watched whenever WrestleMania came back to Texas. I picked up watching regularly.
Whenever yeah, but I also think that's what makes us a great blend because we kind of cover each other's gaps in knowledge. But I'd watch all these cards though. I actually want these matches now.
Nah,
I know. The only way I'm getting these matches is on 2K19. Wait. And then not all of them because
they're talking about Sting versus Taker now. So I'm just saying I had this match made in February. Now they're talking about that.
Yeah, that is true. I don't know how you're gonna have to start just mailing us all your picks so they don't get picked up by the internet and Google that be who knows all, so they can stop filtering yourself to WWE.
So may I pose you ladies a question?
Of course.
Nicole, what match would you of both our cards pick up one match each that you'd want to watch from each of our cards, and then Delisha same from you and myself and Nicole's card, and then I'll pick one for each of your cards that I would definitely want to watch. Oops, wrong card.
You know what? I would want to watch your card that was your Ricochet match. I forgot what exactly everything that was
Ricochet
going in
versus Rey Mysterio versus Neville, the opening match.
Yeah, I would love to see that. That sounds awesome. For me, I was like, I would pay to see that match. I think Sting and Undertaker's going to happen. So, I don't have to worry about that one. Let's see, for Delisha's pick. Oh, man.
Oh, no.
What was your other, not the tag team, but what was the other ladies' match that you did?
Jazz
versus Becky?
Yeah, I would watch that because one, I love Becky and Jazz was amazing. I remember vaguely seeing her come into the ring because Attitude Era, that's when I watched. So yeah, I would love to see that match in real life. That would be cool.
Yeah, I was also considering maybe Jacqueline in that spot, but I really love Jazz's badassery. I just thought she would compliment Becky well in that match. I will say now since we're at the end, I originally had Becky versus Asuka because I had forgotten that they had a match on SmackDown. They had a pay-per-view match too, and it shows how great that match was because I forgot about it. Well, mainly because it also didn't mean anything. So I think that actually might be something I would revamp later on if we do come back and revisit this. But yeah, with Cal, because I'm such a mark for the Hardys, I really like that match. Wait, was that? And since it would be here, I would be there. And try to jump in right. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not getting tackled.
She's talking about the battle, brotherly love battle royal, whatever in Philadelphia, which the Hardys versus Harp Nation featuring Owen and Brett against the Usos against the Young Bucks, all featuring real brothers.
Yeah, which is awesome because sometimes you forget how many brothers were actually like in the ring together. And then with Nikki's, I would love to see that Finn and Undertaker match because I do think that would be a cool like battle of the darkness or battle. Well, almost a battle of demons, but Kings really has that demon moniker. But
like a darkness battle with
Yeah.
fire and darkness.
yeah, the entrances alone would be like 15 minutes long, but
Be
I would
great!
still love it. Exactly. I would still love it because it would just be so awesome to see that in person.
So this is what I love about the show, that we all are our own unique personalities and such, and we all picked different matches from each other's cards that we'd want to watch. So it works out really well. So for Delicious, I'd want to see the Bullet Club or whatever you want to call it, whatever the club versus Usos and New Day, only because it's a great match. I love like Finn Balor and them and the Usos. I just want to see the New Day lose because I saw that the club won that, but that'd still be a cool match because I'm not really too familiar with the club and all that New Japan kind of stuff and all that. So I'd love to see that in action. I know we're starting to get that in WWE now with what happened at the end of was it Raw or something, but I think that would be fun to watch. And for Nicole's card, I would definitely want to watch Austin versus Stone Cold. Austin versus CM Punk. Austin versus Stone Cold would be great too. Like what?
How'd you make that happen?
Austin Aries, but
yes, Stone Cold versus CM Punk, because I love CM Punk. I used to be a huge Stone Cold fan as well. He was actually, I think, the first wrestler I ever met and got autograph of. So it was awesome. So yeah, I'd probably have to watch that match because anything with CM Punk I love.
Same.
Yeah, speaking of Stone Cold, I just thought this was hilarious. Have you guys seen the advertising for his new, I don't know if you call it a reality show or not, on USA? I think it's on USA, where it's like, apparently the tagline is like living the life of Stone Cold. So he's taking like, I think they're celebrities, although they're not, some of them I didn't recognize, to, I guess, I don't know if that's his ranch or just a ranch location. And then they get to do quote unquote Stone Cold things. So I just thought that was pretty funny, but I'm probably going to watch it just because.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say to you guys as well is that you know how you guys say I have the whole extensive history of wrestling, but you know we have the WWE Network and you can watch all those old matches now.
For how much, Kyle?
Like that, $9.95 a month for most people. I'll say that.
Most people.
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying is like, what?
I said in US dollars. $9.95 in US dollars.
Okay, technically it's $9.99, but that's all right. It's 5 cents.
Okay, and don't forget that it is free for the first month or whatever it is, which can include pay-per-views for 2 times if you ordered it earlier for Illusion Champ, whatever the last pay-per-view was, Extreme Rules. No, not Extreme. Stomping Grounds and Extreme Rules. You would have got both in one payment or free. But yeah, you can watch all those old matches like I've been talking about, like that, because what I grew up watching is what made me love wrestling. You know, I used to love that kind of stuff, like Ultimate Warrior was one of my first. I think Ultimate Warrior was my first favorite wrestler besides Bret Hart. Around that time, watching that, and when I got into it was around WrestleMania. I think 6. I think the night that Ultimate Warrior beat Hulk Hogan. After that, I went back and watched 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And every year I'd watch them all, and I owned all of them on VHS. Where I rented it from the store and I recorded it, so we had 2 VCRs and all that set up. But yeah, I don't know. That's a good thing. What the best catchphrase? I don't know.
There's so many good ones.
Reach for your. What do I say at the end of AfterMat? Reach for your dreams and be the champion of your dreams, or something like that. Whatever I say at the end of AfterMat, that's the best thing in WWE. They'll steal from me. Watch.
That's what Ollie's gonna start saying now since he's so positive.
Yeah.
Oh wow! I actually said it like how WWE wants me to say it.
Instead of
Muhammad Ali. No, Mustafa Ali. I mean, not Muhammad Ali. Sorry, Mustafa Ali. That's what he would say now.
I really do recommend you guys going back and watching the WrestleManias because I try to do them once in a while, watching at least the main events of each WrestleMania. But there are some great notable matches. Like I said, the Randy Savage or Steamboat from WrestleMania 3 is amazing to watch. Hogan against Andre, Hogan against Macho Man, Hogan against Ultimate Warrior, like those kind of matches. They're just amazing to watch. A lot of good Bret Hart matches. Shawn Michaels obviously being Mr. WrestleMania. So many like amazing matches you can watch with your now WWE network kind of thing and see what I kind of grew up on watching as an old man. Before the Attitude Era.
Sorry, we're babies.
And wait, don't you have access now to also the WWE library? I'm sorry, WCW library as well as the ECW?
I think so.
Yeah, so you can watch all those like other ones like Bash at the Beach and Halloween Havoc and all that kind of stuff. So you can see like the great Sting when Sting was bleach blonde, flat top against Ric Flair matches because those are great. You can see Undertaker in WCW. You can see Razor Ramon when he's back there before when he's Razor Ramon, like that kind of stuff. Diamond Dallas Page, all those guys when they were younger in WCW as well. You can see them there, and obviously the great cruiserweight matches they had with Jericho and Dean Malenko and Rey Mysterio and Jushin Thunder Liger. They're such great. I'm so glad that they got the whole libraries and all that. That was amazing. There's all those dream cards. We're talking about dream cards, but like those are such great matches that happened. So it made our job even more difficult. Kind of thing.
It really was hard. Like looking on there, being like, "Man, I'd like to see this," and then I'm like, "Wait, that already exists? Where?" Like, oh, it does.
Have to Google search your pick before you.
I did. I had to do that. I was like, "Wait a second. You should have seen me with the Finn Balor Undertaker match." I'm like, did that happen in real life or not? And it took me a while to figure it out. I had to text Cal and I'm like, I need to know if this happened. He's like, I don't think so. I was like, okay, cool.
Eddie versus Ray in WWE is a classic, as Slater saying. But yeah, just because I have like watched wrestling since like 1437, like I remember, like I could tell you like the Greco-Romans who fought in the first Olympic kind of thing. So like I wanted to make sure I didn't use those people because they didn't appear on WWE TV. But if Vince McMahon could have TV back then, he probably would have had them on them, naked and all, because that's what they were.
I believe it. Well, all right, guys. I hope you guys had a great time, and we're going to be throwing up a poll on the Kingslayer Network Twitter to vote on your favorite match card. Even though Cal thinks he's going to win, you never know with people. You know, humans gonna human. That's my catchphrase. Humans gonna human.
You're gonna vote against me just out of spite, but we all know who really won here. Just with the creativity of everything and all that. Who thought of a brothers match in Philadelphia with real brothers? Brothers.
Probably Paul Heyman, but that's besides the point. But anyway, guys, you're actually gonna get a double dosage of us next week. Well, back-to-back weeks. We haven't done that in a while. But next week, you will catch us on AfterMat recapping Extreme Rules. So that will be on July 15th. Because Extreme Rules will be here in my hometown, but I can't go because I am poor and no one wanted to give me free tickets because no one likes me. No, just kidding. But yeah, we'll be back here next Monday on the 15th at 8 o'clock.
7:30
here on Kingslayer Network recapping Extreme Rules. Let's see how extreme they will actually get, and we'll see if we actually enjoyed ourselves and didn't have to turn off the TV. But let us know on Twitter, which we will let you know where you can find us at shortly. What you thought, not just about which card you like best, or what do you like? If you guys thought about some things that we might have forgotten later on, or you didn't get to think about your picks tonight, and you want to shout it out to us later, you could do that, and you can start by doing that with me on. I almost said Facebook, but I hardly ever answer stuff on Facebook unless you tag me in it. But on Twitter and Instagram at Delisha Renee. Nikki, where can I find you?
Oh, yeah. So you can find me on Instagram and Twitter and pretty much any social media at Rapsty0607. Come check me out. I don't really talk about wrestling all that much. I pretty much just talk about hair products.
Unless I make a wrestling reference in the comment section.
That's true. Yeah. If you make wrestling comments in the section, then I will answer you. I get excited.
And I need to make a correction. We will be back next Monday at 7:30, not 8 p.m. But you guys read our tweets. Or you probably all guys already knew that in the first place anyway, because you guys rock. Kyle, where can I find you?
Yeah, you can find me at KingslayerNet, where the affirmation poll will go up in a little bit once I get everything settled over here, clean up my room and all that with the green screen. I'll be putting that up. It'll be available until I guess halfway through AfterMat next week, and we'll reveal the results of the poll at the end of the show next week. But I'll be streaming again tomorrow night with Halo_Smythe, trying to do the registration way of Marvel Ultimate Alliance and Geek to My Nerd as well. We're going to try to finish up that game by next week. So we can start Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 together when it comes out for the Switch. We're also going to be doing – I'm also going to be starting Knights of the Old Republic 2 on Wednesday and Friday, so we'll be doing that Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. But not next Monday because we do have AfterMat.
That's Star Wars, right?
Yes.
Knights of the Old. Okay.
Yep. So if you like Star Wars, come check it out. But I'm glad thank you guys for coming by and talking with us in here. And I wish a lot more of you guys talked. You guys made 9 people here at once, but I guess they just want to see what we had to say. I'd love to hear. I want to hear what they thought their dream card matches would be. But maybe you guys can tweet at us when I put the poll up. You guys let us know what your top matches have been and all that kind of stuff.
Or drop it in the comments below. This is YouTube. We do have comments below.
I completely forgot about that. I should put that in the description. Great idea. I'm glad I thought of it.
You're welcome.
It's been fun. Thank you, ladies, for having me. I could always bring out my persona in this, and it's great. And if we do it again, maybe we'll do the Nightmare or another dream card next year, whatever you ladies want to do. But Delicia, did you want to tell them? Did you have an idea of what we were talking about for the final episode, or were we doing that? Or
Yeah, I think we are going to do a status. I'm not quite sure on the title of it yet, but it's more of a status or the state of WWE and do we like it or not, basically. Because I feel like we've been on a roller coaster battle, not only this year and we're only 6 months in or 7 months in, but I feel like a lot over the last couple of years, a lot of us have been up and down on how we feel about WWE's booking and how they are running the show behind the scenes. And I thought it would be kind of cool to do a reflection on the status on how we think as fans, either sometimes are we putting our expectations way too high, or did WWE make us put our expectations too high? I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
They just need to listen to us. We know what we want.
Yes, and how and maybe think of some ways of how WWE could probably maybe toe that line of putting in more fan wants versus stubbornness as we might think it is, or maybe just get a healthy discussion on the status of WWE and are they just too big? I don't know. I feel like we could probably have a good discussion about that since we are mainly WWE based. I mean, we could bring in references from other promotions like Impact and Ring of Honor.
Other promotions, and that's why WWE is losing fans.
Yeah.
I mean, I've
or
watched for a long time, and I mean, I've already started branching out to other stuff because I'm not satisfied with what's happening in the WWE. I'm the person they want. I love to buy merch and talk about it, and I'm a girl. Talks about wrestling.
So yeah, I thought that would be a really good topic to round out our 4th episode for because we started off with the Women's Evolution, which we thought was a great milestone for WWE, and now we kind of somewhat bring it full circle for our overall status in our WWE fandom, because at the end of the day, we are fans, and we just want all of our wrestling to be great, not just certain parts of it.
Not just WrestleMania.
Right.
Or Raw after Mania.
Or just
Vendetta.
Or Vendetta. Wow.
But all right, guys, we will see you back here.
We're on AfterTalk. Holy fuck.
Yeah, so we'll see you guys come back here talking more wrestling because, like I said, we're fans, to recap WrestleMania. And we hope to see you guys on Twitter and in the chats below talking more wrestling because that's what we love to do. I don't think we have a slogan tagline for this for AfterTalk yet, but we're working on it. We're still new. We're still in our infancy, so just work with us. All right, have a good night, guys.
close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go. Through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go. Through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go. Through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go. Through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. We'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And on we'll go. Through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go. Through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.